Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is First Impressions Friday and we're reviewing well, not really reviewing, we're getting our first impressions of different products that I purchased at the Mary Art store in McMinnville, Oregon when we did our little trip. So, excuse me, these are the Milan colored pencils. They are an interesting set of pencils. Um, they are ASTM's safety regulations, not suitable for children, retain packaging for reference, blah 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 blah. But it doesn't say whether or not they're light, fast, and that sort of thing. Um, but I have heard that they are, but I don't see any information of that on here. They are made in Spain. Um, and they are like made in Spain. They're not made in China. What is this little sticker? Oh, it's a little sticker here. I always get curious with little stickers. They like to put information under the little sticker that they don't want you to know, and the little sticker won't come off. So they are a hexagonal 7 millimeter barrel. They are a 3.5 millimeter core. A lovely little tin, very pretty. Let's see if they say they have the anti-break technology, so they are glued down the barrel, which is great. And they are a strong lead, is what it is. They come in this wonderful little tin. And let's take a look at the pencils themselves. I'll switch on over to the close-up here. And they are printed in black, so they are very easy to read. So this one here is tropical yellow. Now all of them have 213 on them, so I think that is a product number for this set. It says Milan, big lead, shows the hexagonal shape as well as the tropical yellow. It doesn't show any light fast rating or anything like that. The company has been in production since 1918. I have heard that all of their products are an artist grade product, so they don't have a student grade. I have also heard that the 24 set here is the largest set you can get. So with me and having full set syndrome, um, I like big sets. I'm sorry. I do. I like having lots of different colors. So we'll have to see how well these blend together and create other colors and that sort of thing. I'm going to switch you back over to the main camera here so you can actually see the pencils and not just my hand. So we have our yellows into our apricot peach color, into our reds and oranges, pinks, into the purples, blues, greens, browns, and gray. Now the color names on here kind of bug me a little bit. They are very specific names. So, which is fine. You can definitely have some great specific names. This is not classified as a beginner set, so you're not going to have somebody going, okay, I'm coloring a turtle, I'm going to use this color and this color alone. This is an artist grade set, so most artists know when you're coloring wood, you would not just use one color of brown, that sort of thing. It's not geared or stated anywhere on the product that it is made for the beginner colorist to learn how to blend colors or anything like that. So they don't bug me as much as if it were a set that was geared to a beginner. Um, I just I just have a thing about, colors being, I guess it's because I color a lot of floral things, a lot of earth tone things, and maybe just having one pencil in a set that says earth brown or wood brown or, lava brown, sand brown, that sort of thing. It does tend to direct your mind towards those colors when you're coloring that item, so to speak. So I do have an issue with naming things specifically. Um, instead of the actual name for it, like sepia or things like that. Tirade over. Rant done. I'm going to swatch these out and we will take a look at the colors and we'll talk about how they felt while I was doing the swatch. We are also going to do our testing for them and a little bit of coloring with them on the swatch chart. So stay tuned, grab your coffee. This will be really fast because there is only 24 pencils in the set. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, see, that wasn't so bad. Okay, so of course we have Arctic white, which is white. Um, for some reason, I forgot to put the black square over top of the white, so you can't see it very well, but that's okay. We have tropical yellow and mustard in our yellow tones. We have apricot pink and mandarin and watermelon red in our orange tones. We have strawberry in our red tone. There's definitely not enough reds. There's a lava brown here, which is a nice dark red as well. We have camellia pink, bloom pink, and bougainvillea pink. So those are our pink tones. This one here is moving a little bit into the purple tones. Then we have our queen purple, our king purple, and our peacock blue. Now, our peacock blue has a touch of purple tone to it. I would not call this a peacock blue. I'm looking more along the lines of a dark turquoise type of color for a peacock blue. Then we have our ocean blue, our Mediterranean, our turquoise, grass green, and turtle green. Now these are the only three greens. This one here is an aquatic, and these two are your basic greens. Now we do have a few browns, like we have a sand brown, lava brown, earth brown, and wood brown. Now the lava brown I do believe would be more of a red brown, dark red. These two here, these three here would be a really good brown combination. We have elephant gray, which to me is a warm gray, and then we have the black. So I'm going to grab my little tool because I forgot to do it. Let's see if I can remember what drawer I stuck it in. I forgot to put the circles on for our testing. Isn't that just peachy of me? There's my tool. So I'm going to grab my little tool here and my pen, and we're going to flip this over and we're going to do our testing areas. So we need a testing area for water resistance, as well as a testing area for smudging, and then we'll do our blends and that sort of thing. So this is the area for the water, and I am using an actual pen, and I have used this pen before, and I do find that they do not smear with water or anything like that. So that's why I use this pen instead of a pencil or a marker. All right, so I've got our smudge spots here. Now I'm going to put in our blending spots. Now these pencils on Amazon do cost about $12. So that's approximately 50 cents a pencil, which isn't too bad for an artist grade pencil. So this is water, this is smudge, this is three-tone, this is rainbow, this is blender pencil. Let's just put blender stick because I'll use the Caran d'Ache, and this is the white. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sharpener. Now I have my Deli hand crank sharpener here, and we're going to sharpen the colors that we're going to use. So we're going to use strawberry red because that's the only actual red in there. We're going to use tropical yellow, and we're going to use Mediterranean blue for our rainbow colors and our watercolor and test colors and stuff like that. So we've got to sharpen these. Now I did find during the swatching that they were a little bit hard and scratchy. So I'm wondering if there is a coating on them. The ones that I did already previously sharpen didn't have any sort of problem. So I think there might be a coating on them. Now they sharpen very, very well, very quickly, full, heavy, really nice point on them. And it doesn't take a whole lot. One thing that both Alex and I noticed when I opened the box, even though they look like a pine wood barrel, they don't smell. Like even after when you sharpen them, you know, sometimes when you cut into that wood, you can smell it. So I do believe that these are made with a bamboo or something else that doesn't have an odor because they don't smell at all. There was no chemical smell, no nothing, no smell whatsoever. All right, going to switch you over to the close-up camera here, and we're going to start with our yellow. And yeah, definitely much better. I think that there's a coating on them when you buy them. So make sure that you sharpen your pencils before you use them. I don't, because I feel that if you are buying a set of sharpened pencils, I'm going to test them and do my swatch chart with them unsharpened, because you're basically telling me that they should be ready to go right out of the box. And if they're not, then I want to know. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure I swipe away any remnants. There wasn't any major crumbing, and as you can see, I didn't press hard, and the pencil did not break. So now we're going to use our red. Again, the scratch that the red had in the swatch is no longer there. So definitely feel that there may be a bit of a residue on the lead for shipping purposes or that sort of thing. Really, really bright colors, very vibrant colors. once you get them laid down. They do seem to cover very nicely, which is great. I'm not getting any major graining, chunks of pencil coming off when laying down the color, which is fantastic. I still swipe anyway, just in case there is any loose particles. Alright, so I'm just getting a really thick layer of pencil down. Alright, now I have my paint puck here full of water, so just going to dab that off. So this is moist, it's not soaking wet. I don't want it to be soaking wet because no matter what you do, you're not going to be using a heavy soaking paintbrush on your colored pencil area. Okay, so the red moves definitely. And the blue also moves. The yellow moved a little bit, but it's really hard to see. That's why I always do the red and the blue too. So they are not water they're not waterproof. You can definitely move them with water, so make sure that you go over them with, say, your Caran d'Ache blender or that sort of thing to put that coating on top of it so that you don't end up with movement. Alright, so let's do our smudge test here. Now I'm just filling in the circle with a heavy layer, because 9 times out of 10 when it's smudging is because you finished an area and you're rubbing your hand across it to color another area. And if you are like some people, like myself, sometimes you don't blend it when you're finished with it because you might want to add another color to it later. So sometimes I don't put that blender on top of it right away, which I have issues with because I end up smudging my pencils, which bugs me. And that's one of the reasons why I do the smudge test, is because it's for my own use as well. All of these things I do because I want to know. I want to be able to look at the back of my swatch chart and say, okay, these are going to smudge if I don't seal them first before continuing on to the next area. Clean fingers, dry fingers, no yellow on there, but it did smudge a little bit. So does the red. And so the blue a little bit, but not as much. Now it's not a lot. I have put quite a bit of pressure on there with my finger to move that. So if you're just going back and forth over top of it, it may not be a problem. So although I think it's definitely a fail here, it's a fail. Well, let's put a minus here because it's not a complete fail. It didn't smudge as much as if it, like for example the Prismas. If I did that with a Prisma, it would smudge all over the place. So just a point. Now we're going to take a 3-color blend here. So we're going to take, let's take these. Yeah, these 3 here. So we're going to take the oranges and we're going to blend a 3-color blend with the oranges. And I'm going to sharpen these 2 because the apricot's already sharpened. And we're going to see if they'll blend together and create a graduated blend from light to dark. Alright, so we've got our light, medium, and dark. So we have apricot pink, mandarin, and watermelon red. So we're going to start with our apricot pink, and we're going to build the color. These feel like a hard pencil, so they feel like a layering pencil. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with the apricot pink, then we're going to add the orange going into the apricot pink. And then the watermelon red going into the orange. Then we're going to start all over again. And you should be able to get a full coverage between 3 to 5 layers. Anything more than that, it's to me frustrating. So if you're blending and blending and blending and layering and layering and layering, and you're finding that you're not getting a full color saturation in 3 to 5 layers, and that's a back and forth, doing a full layer coverage is a back and a forth. So we've got 2 on here now. Now we're going to put in number 3. And we're getting really good full layer coverage here. It may take 4 because I'm not pressing on the pencils at all. I'm just letting them glide across the page. And as you can see, it's got a really good graduation going there. So this is number 4. And it's working really nicely. Graduate into that peach. And then we're going to take the watermelon and graduate it into that orange. So yes, definitely does do a three-tone graduation from the peach to the orange to the red. Now, if I was to go over this with, say, the peach and blend it all together, I'm quite sure that any of these separation lines would disappear. So yes, it does do a 3-color graduation. Now, like I said, they are a harder pencil. So I am going to do the rainbow as well, the exact same way. So we're going to start with the red, and we're going to build up the colors. So we're going to start with the red with one full layer, and then we're going to start with go in with the yellow into the red and over, because we're going to also be putting it into the blue. So there's number 2, and then we're going to go in with the blue into the yellow. Alright, so there's layer number 1. And we're starting on layer number 2. And it's gradually bringing those colors together. Press a little bit harder there. Patience is a virtue when you're layering. Sometimes I don't have that virtue. I forget where I left it. So this is a 3 rainbow graduation from red to orange to yellow to green to blue. And as you can see, it does do the full graduation. I'm going to press a little harder on the yellow here just to give you that full graduation, because I don't want to take any more time building that up. So as you can see, from red to orange, yellow to green to blue. So it does do it does give you the ability to blend colors together to create a new color. So let's do one more area, and we're going to actually cover this entire thing, this entire swatch area here with the red and the blue to create hopefully a purple. Which it definitely does. So it definitely creates a dark purple, which is cool. You can definitely go across the other way and fill in any white spot. Like so. It's a very dark purple, but it is still a purple. I think if I was to want a lighter purple, I would have to use a pink. Alright, so now we're going to do a blend. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do it a little bit harder. So I'm going to press on the pencil. Putting down. So these do seem to mash pretty good too. Putting them down heavy-handed. I was thinking that because they felt really hard, a little bit harder, that they wouldn't do this very well. But it seems to do just fine heavy-handed as well. I really wanted to see if it would. So yeah, you can do a one and done with these pencils as well. So that's just one layer of each color, and it has created the blend. Alright, so let's do a blender stick. So we're just going to put light layers back and forth, and then we're going to use the blender stick to eliminate those white spots. which it definitely does. It actually works really well with the blender stick. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing over here with the blue. And then we're going to take our white pencil and we're going to see if we can blend that together with the white. And it definitely blends well with the white as well. The white is able to move that pigment around. However, with the white, just like with any other colored pencil, it is going to dampen the color. So it is going to make that color a little bit less bright. It's going to dull it down a little bit. Okay, so I think they blend very, very nicely. I want to take a look at this one here. We're going to start in the, and we're just going to blend half of it, just going from light to dark. Well, let's just blend all of it, I guess. Brain said half, and then my body said, nope, we're just going to do all of it. Alright, so as you can see with the blender stick, you don't see those lines anymore. It's just a continuous movement, an ombre type of effect down the edges there, which is really cool. I like that. Alright, so definitely a pass on the blending and of the blending with the blender stick pass. You can also mash these together and blend them, which is a pass as well. With the white, also a pass. So what I mean by mashing or mushing or whatever, mushing is when you are heavier handed and you take a color and you fill an area with that color. And then you take another color and you fill that area with that color as well. And that will still create that orange instead of having just red and yellow. You can also fill your, say your area down here, say for this one here. I want this one to be all red. So I don't want to add any other color to it but red. I can put them together, put them down, fill that entire area with a nice heavy layer of that red and not have to blend it because I'm not leaving any white spot. Now say I want to add a little bit of orange to it. I've decided I don't like it just straight red. Let's add some orange. We can definitely add some orange to it as well. Now if you don't find that it's orange enough, you can take your yellow and fill that in. So definitely blendable. They are definitely work well for building that color up as well. Now we're going to color these plants here. So we're going to take our pinks. We've got camellia pink, bloom pink, and bougainvillea pink. That's probably not how to say that, but that's okay. And we're going to do a coloring on the swatch chart here. So I want the camellia pink as my dark. the bougainvillea as my medium, and the bloom pink as my light. Again, I'm sharpening these up because they weren't sharpened, and I am I do believe that there is a um, coating on them because they just color so much better after you sharpen them, which is the way it is with a lot of different colored pencils. Sometimes they just don't color very well until you sharpen them. So they definitely passed all of the testing except for the water test and the smudge test, but all of the blending tests definitely passed for that, which to a colorist, such as myself, that is one of the more important things to me. I don't use a lot of wet media on top of my colored pencils, so I'm not overly concerned on whether or not they move with water or smudge. And when I do intend on using a wet media, even with ones that I know are water resistant, I tend to make sure that they are sealed with the blender. So, okay, so we're just basing these with the bloom pink. And like I said, there is names on all the pencils, so definitely a bonus. So when you are coloring, you can definitely say, okay, I used bloom pink for that, and I used the, let's see, what's the next one? The bougainvillea pink for the next one, for my medium tone. So if you're one of those ones that journals the color combinations you create, it definitely gives you that ability to do so quite easily with the names. However, some of the names are really long. So I would end up calling this bog pink just because I don't like the long name. I don't journal my color combinations while I'm coloring because I just don't. And then I go back every once in a while and go, oh, that's pretty. What color did I use? Uh-oh, I don't know. But I can usually compare and create close to the same combination with other colors, other pencils. So I've gotten pretty good with that. Having so many different sets of pencils, it makes it a lot easier to be able to grab a different set of pencils and say, okay, I want this pink, and this pink, and have it look fairly close to the same product. Make it look like it's supposed to be there. So they are layering on top of each other very nicely. I'm getting a really good level of color saturation right on top of that light pink, which is really good. And of course my desk is full of stuff, so I'm trying to go over these without knocking everything off my desk. So as you may have seen already, today has been a very busy day here in the corner. This is the last of the first impressions videos. There is also a final impressions video on the Artex colored pencils, and I really like them. And these are feeling, a little bit harder, but they are just as smooth. I'm really actually surprised. After doing the swatch, I was a little bit concerned on how smooth these were going to feel because the swatch, I felt a lot of them were a little bit scratchy and then some were a little bit overly waxy. So I was concerned on color saturation as well as whether or not they were going to drive me crazy with scratch, and I'm not having that right now. And bloom pink is one of the ones that was scratchy when I did the swatch, and I didn't have that at all when I was laying down the bloom pink. So, all right, so now we're going to do camellia pink, and we're just going to darken up some areas here. And once again, it's blending into that bougainvillea pink quite nicely without completely overtaking it, which is really nice. Another great thing is that you can use a light hand and still get a good color saturation, or you can use a heavier hand and get a really deep saturation, which is great too. So you can easily feather that color together. Yeah, I'm liking the way that those are going down. Like I said, when I did the swatch of them, I was a little concerned. And after sharpening them, finding that waxy buildup that made them feel a little waxy was definitely an outer core area thing. So either a manufacturer dipping of the pencils to keep them safe, or a wax bloom that was on them. But on the ones that I had previously sharpened, I didn't notice any wax bloom on them, so it may have just, like I said, some manufacturers dip their pencils in a bit of wax just to keep them um, protected and a little bit shiny in the case. So, yeah, that looks really good. I am pleasantly surprised. And there's not a lot of white spot, and I can definitely go through with the lighter pink and just blend that together if I wanted to. And just feather that all together like so. Just blending it in, getting that color saturation on the light areas as well, and bringing those dark areas into the light areas like that. Very, very nicely done. Okay, so they are working quite well for blending. They do have the ability to layer colors very nicely. I'm going to do this one more um, plant here, one more flower. Then we will move on to the leaves so we can see how the greens do. So this is the medium tone right over top of that light tone, and then our dark tone in the bottom area and back here. And then our light right on top of it, blending it in. so. Very pretty. All right, so now let's do our green areas. So I'm going to need to sharpen up our greens. Now there's only two greens in here that I would use for leaves, and that is the grass green and the turtle green. So we're going to do the leaves with grass green and turtle green. Now I went from light to dark on the flowers. Let's try doing it from dark to light. See if we're able to brighten up the turtle green with the grass green. We might add a bit of orange in there as well, but it's not a large area, so I'm just going to put the turtle green down first in our shadow area. And then we're going to take our grass green and it does lighten up that turtle green quite a bit. So definitely able to create another color by combining the two colors, which is great. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple of leaves and then we'll move on to the monarch butterfly. And then I think we will call it a day because it's been a long day. I've given you guys so much information today. I know it's a little bit of information overload. These are available on Amazon for about, like I said, approximately $12 or $13 for the set. I did find them in the craft store in the art store that we bought them in for $11 and a couple of cents. So basically $12, which is like 50 cents a pencil, which is not bad at all. And they are starting to feel definitely worth it. The green that I'm using here was very, very underpigmented and very scratchy when I did the swatch, and it's just perfect now. So definitely one of those issues of manufacturer dips. Make sure you sharpen your pencils, people. Sharpen your pencils. Well, these ones anyway. I always do that. Like I said, there's a reason why I don't sharpen my pencils when I do my swatch. And that is because pencil manufacturers that put out pencils with the tips already sharpened, 9 times out of 10 advertise their pencils as ready to go, ready to use straight out of the box. And if their pencils are dipped, then they don't work very well. So they're definitely not ready to use without frustration. They definitely work. You can definitely get a color out of it. And yes, you can even probably do something really pretty with it. But there's going to be a frustration level to it because of the fact that the pencil has been dipped and the pigment that you're getting is not the full pigment of the pencil. And until you get rid of that layer, you're going to feel that the pencils aren't working right. That they're not very good pencils, even if they are top of the line artist grade pencils. You're going to be very disappointed in them because of the fact that you're not getting that saturation, you're not getting that nice feel of a good colored pencil. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else but me, but that's the reason why I do it. I do it for you guys as well, but Mainly, anything that I do on my channel is stuff that I use. Like I use my color charts all the time. So I want my color charts to reflect information that I'm going to use every time I use my pencils. And that's why I do the coloring area as well as the information on the back of whether or not they're waterproof or smudge proof or blendable. Um, I can take a quick look at the front and see that they're blendable if they've blended well on the flowers and that sort of thing. But sometimes, like for example, today I did a heavy-handed ability on the back, which shows me that if I use a heavy hand, I can definitely still blend those colors together and get a progressive blend. I don't have to be constantly light-handed, building up color, building up color, building up color, which is great. I just for some reason decided that I needed to finish this off. I'm having fun coloring these flowers. Sorry, guys. I know I said I was going to let you go, but yesterday's video was a long one. So for all of you out there that watched the entire thing, thank you. Um, I appreciate you. Another thing that we are going to talk about tomorrow is we're going to have a conversation during our live stream tomorrow about Monday and that sort of thing so that we can decide on what we're going to do with Matters Monday. So stay tuned for that. If you have an opinion, make sure that you're in the chat so that we can get that all cleared away and ready for the next Monday. Right. Almost finished this flower, I promise. Like I said, sometimes you just gotta. I My brain makes me finish things. It's like, nope, you started it, you need to finish it. So that's why I'm finishing this because my brain is saying, nope, you can't move on to the next thing until you finish the first thing. That's one of the reasons why um, color alongs are very difficult for me. Work in progresses are very difficult for me because my brain says, okay, you got to finish it, you got to finish it, you got to finish it. And I'm retraining my brain to allow me to put something aside and say, nope, that's for next week. It's a huge retrain, I'm telling you. All right, now we're going to do our monarch butterfly. So we're going to start with our light. Just putting down that base coat of yellow. And we're going to use the yellow to blend all those colors together as well. All right, then we're going to take our orange, and this is tangerine. We're going to start in the bottoms, moving it up a little. The bottom, moving it up. Now in these ones here that show dark on the sides, we're going to put the tangerine in those. And just filling in little areas with that yellow, orange. Now we're going to grab our red. I don't want watermelon, I want red. So we're going to grab strawberry red. And we're going to put in our red tones. Like so. Just getting all that red in there. And then we're going to go back through with our yellow and blend it all together. Brightening up that yellow area. Like so. And there we have our monarch butterfly. Now we're going to take our, let's take earth brown. And we'll do his little body. And then we will call it a day. The other flowers I'll do on my own. After the video here. So the tomorrow is Start Over Saturday, and because it is still a part of mermaid, I will be starting another mermaid. Of course, it will be a Molly mermaid because it is Molly May as well. So if you want to join in, I will be doing another mermaid. But if you want to join into Molly May or Molly Mermaid, which is what we're doing on the Facebook group for our event this month, make sure you join the Facebook group. Always remember to put a hashtag on your Instagram post if you are joining into Mermaid as well as Molly May so that everybody can see your posts. If you are in the Facebook group and joining in on the Molly Mermaid, which is the event that's going on right now, you submit a picture of one of Molly's mermaids to the Facebook album. Make sure that you do put that in the album, otherwise it will not get judged. I do apologize. Whoever that is can leave me a message. So, as I was saying, make sure that you put your picture into the album so that it can be put through and judged and everything else for the end of the event. If it's not in the album, unfortunately, we can't go searching through things to figure out where things are. So make sure it's in the album. Alright, just went through with a little bit of black to accentuate his little leggies and the black parts of his wings, as well as his antennae. Why he has 3 antennae, I don't know, but he does. So I'm going to switch over to the main camera here so that you can see a little bit better of what we've done. The flowers turned out very, very nicely. I'm going to zip you down here a little bit closer so you can see a little bit better. So the flowers turned out really nicely. I was able to get a really good blend with those pinks as well as the oranges and reds and yellows for the butterfly. The greens did really well as well. I have not blended any of these things with a blender pencil. This is just blended with the pencils themselves, and I think they have done really nicely. Again, I will stress that they do require sharpening. As you can probably see, they look a little scratchy up here, and several of them felt very, very scratchy and very waxy. After sharpening them, I don't have that same scratchy, waxy feeling that I had on ones like the Bougainvillea Pink, the Mandarin, the Strawberry, the Chameleon. The browns were really bad, and I don't have that same feel anymore after sharpening them. So, first impressions. They are not water resistant. They do move with water. They do smudge, so be careful going over things with your hands. They do blend very, very nicely, even with a build-up blend, and very nicely with a mushing blend. A mushing blend is when you take your pencils and you put enough pressure on them to eliminate your white spot with one or two layers. They do layer very nicely with the Caran d'Ache blender, as well as with the white that comes with the set. We can definitely blend the colors, creating new colors, which is fantastic. After sharpening, I was able to create a very nice shadow area inside of the flower, as well as leave those highlights, which is awesome. Also was able to blend the red, orange, and yellow to create the bright colors of the butterfly. With the leaves, I was able to take a very dark green, put a lighter green over top of it, and create a mid-tone green, which is awesome. Alright guys, so my first impressions of the Milan colored pencils that I purchased in the Merry Artist store out in McMinnville. I do believe it's in McMinnville. I could be wrong. But they are a very nice pencil. They do have a nice thick core. They sharpen very, very nicely. Make sure you sharpen them after you purchase them before you actually color a page with them. If you want to do your swatch chart without sharpening them, by all means do so. However, before you start coloring a page to get the best results with these pencils, make sure you sharpen them. They are fused down the lead so that they will not break. I don't know what kind of wood they're made of, however, it does not smell. Beautiful colors. To me, not enough colors. I would really like to see a bigger set of them, but that's just me and my big set problem, because I do like a big set. Like I said, they do blend together in a wonderful ability to create other colors. And yeah, so first impressions, so far so good. They're actually a really nice feeling pencil. And for 50 cents a pencil, that's not bad at all. So, and for an artist grade pencil and everything else. They do have their own website, and I may go and do some more research on their website. It is www.milan.es, and I may go and do some more research on them. Again, these are a product out of Spain, and they do have their address and information here for contacting them through Spain. All right, so I will do, of course, a final impressions on next Friday on the Milan colored pencils. Um, I will not do a final impressions on the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2s. I did do that during my first impressions today because I have been using them throughout the week. These I haven't used at all. This is all I've ever done with them. So I will be using these throughout the week. All right, guys, until next time, thank you all very much for watching. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy on any videos that you enjoy. You can also do something really cool now in financially supporting your artists with a super comment, a super chat, or a super whatever it is. It's a monetary purchase that you can make while you're making your comment, which is really kind of cool, and it does help out your uh, your enjoyed channels. Of course, any monetization of this channel does go back into the channel. So anything created from or any funds created from my monetization does go to purchasing new products as well as giveaways and shipping. All right, so with that, I say thank you all very much for watching. Always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, bye bye for now.